I appreciate your trust, your interest in learning to be a more proficient communicator, learning to tell stories that connect you with the people that you can serve, learning to use language as a way of creating worlds, as a way of inspiring, as a way of transmitting all the wisdom that you have, all that you have learned, and all that you know. Now, once again, I want to appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for trusting me with your most important resource, which is time. My commitment to you is to make this the best course on communication, content creation, and messaging that you have taken. That is my commitment, and that's the level of quality that I have placed into this challenge, to this program. However, here's the deal. Nothing works unless you do. And this may sound cliche, but it is worth repeating. I cannot, as much as I would love to, I cannot do the work for you. I cannot hold your hand every step of the way. And then when we go to the gym, I do the sit ups and expect that you're going to have abs. That's not how it's going to happen. What I can do, what I commit to doing, is to giving you very clear steps, very clear guidelines, impossible to misunderstand actions and homework that you can do, so that if you do it, if you go through these next few days and you do everything that you're invited into, you will see the way you communicate is going to change. Now, during the course, we're going to speak about why that is important. But before we start, I just want you to ask yourself, why are you here? Just remember, because there was a reason. If everything was perfect, if your business was thriving, you probably would not have time to be here. Unless you're one of those very few proactive people who are always seeking to find that extra 1 to 3% edge. But for most of you, you're probably a little bit frustrated with content creation. You've probably experienced some success through different ways of advertising, of marketing, of sharing your mission, your values, your message. And yet you feel a little bit consumed and a little bit overwhelmed by how fast technology grows, how busy you may be with your clients, and how hard it is to keep up with all of it. And maybe you write something from the bottom of your heart only for your aunt and your cousin to like it. And maybe your mom, if she has you on Facebook or on social media, and you wonder what's going on. Why is my message not touching people? I know I have something to give. I know I am great at what I do, but why aren't people noticing this? This is the case. I want to tell you that first, I appreciate your desire to keep improving yourself. But more than that, it is very important that the better you are at your craft, the better you are at the thing that you help people with, the more it is your responsibility and your duty. I will borderline say divine obligation to be great at inspiring people to find you. Imagine a dear family member. Hopefully, this has not happened, but if it happened, my apologies. I am sorry. But imagine that you lost a dear one to a very rare type of cancer. Maybe it was your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, somebody you knew. Most of us have lost somebody to cancer, so that's easy to relate to. Now imagine it was a very rare type of cancer and you were looking everywhere for solutions and you just saw how this person that you loved so much kind of wilted and suffered for a few months to a few years, all the way to death, and it broke your heart. Now, imagine that a few months after that person passes away, you find out through somebody that there was somebody in the world that had a 90% success rate at treating this specific type of disease. But they were lazy or insecure or too distracted and too busy, perhaps, to just put themselves out there. How would you feel knowing that there was someone that had the time and the skills and the willingness to help somebody that you cared for? And that the only reason that transaction, that service, that connection didn't happen was because that person was mediocre or decided to be careless in the way that they show up, in the way they communicate, in the way they put themselves out there. They decided to play a small game, even though they had a lot of experience, expertise, and results that they could provide in their hands. Part of you will feel angry, frustrated, maybe even a little resentful. Like how dare you if you've got something to say? How dare you if you've got something you can help people with? How dare you if you are a healer, a coach, a guide, someone that can help people heal their relationships, improve their health, organize their finances, whatever you help people with. If you're good at what you do, how dare you not pay the time and attention and effort it deserves for the world to know you? Because I promise you, there are many, many people out there going through the exact kind of problem that only you can solve in the exact kind of way that you solve it. Looking for somebody with the specific personality, with the love, the service, the care, the heart to help them with this specific thing. And two things are happening. First, they just suffer and suffer and suffer because they believe there's no solution to their problem. Or two, which is worse, we find what happens in today's economy, which is there's a lot of people with incredible desire to be seen, big pockets to hire teams and have very big marketing machines and very little heart, and sometimes even very little expertise, very little experience. Incredible salespeople and marketers without the integrity to actually provide something of use. So a big chunk of the world is consuming things that will never help them around their finances, around their health, their spirituality, their relationships. Most of the people are buying into that which those with the loudest voices are selling, not those with the most capable skills, with the biggest heart and the strongest desire to serve. And if you're here, I imagine that you are like this. You have a big heart, you're very good at what you do, and you want to help people. So, my invitation is that during this course, we transform the way that you show up in the world, the way you show up in your practice, and therefore we create an opportunity, possibility for people to find you, to connect with you, to relate, for your work to be seen in the way it deserves to be seen, and for you to live more abundantly, to not have to hustle so much trying to convince people in a sales call just because you've been too lazy to educate them through your content, just because you've been too stingy to serve them, just because you haven't wanted or made the time to give value for free. Or maybe you do it in a way that is so boring that nobody wants to consume what you have to say. Maybe you're very wise and you get tangled up in your mind, and what you share is not really what people need. We're going to change that. So, once again, I appreciate your trust during these next few days. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart, your future clients, the people you're about to serve, all the thousands of people that you will get to touch and impact by mastering your message. Their inner self is cheering and celebrating right now. And future you is also cheering, for you are taking one step in the right direction. Direction of being of service, putting yourself out there, of being the change maker that you're here to be. All right, my name is Nicholas Cannon. Welcome to the Spirit Led Academy.